There comes a time in life when everything seems to fall apart. It's a time when the soul carries an invisible weight, and the mind struggles against the silence of undisclosed secrets. That person who seemed unshakable until recently now finds themselves exhausted and suffocated by emotional turmoil, weighed down by hidden truths. You never imagined they would cry alone, or that their confident smile could hide such deep pain. Yet they are now facing a whirlwind of stress, fear, and the weight of long-hidden betrayals. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is revealing something indispensable that you need to hear with an open heart, because it will make all the difference on your path. It's not just another warning. It's an urgent call, a divine roar that can no longer be ignored. Archangel Michael is present with his flaming sword, ready to protect you and expose everything hidden in the shadows of your past. There is a woman close to you who wears a mask of support and friendship, but whose heart harbors envy, manipulation, and lies that corrode the energy around you. She speaks softly when she is near, feigning sincere celebration, but her efforts are actually aimed at undermining your dreams, delaying your plans, and blocking doors that were opened for you with great effort. This invisible sabotage affects not only you, but also someone dear to you who suffers in silence, bearing the weight of untold truths. How many times have you felt an inexplicable weight on your chest? How many nights have you been plagued by restlessness and originless doubts? It's time to understand that these signs are real. They're the voice of the divine trying to free your spirit from this burden. Archangel Michael protects and reveals. In this spiritual battle, his role is to defend the truth vigorously and expose those who plant seeds of discord while concealing their intentions. These are not coincidences or paranoid thoughts. Spirituality is showing you what can no longer be ignored. As you read these words, know that angels are silently working, collecting every lie and malicious step taken to undermine your purpose. This woman didn't just speak ill of you in secret. She tried to block your spiritual path, hoping your plans would fail and rejoicing in your setbacks. It is time to face this reality with courage and faith. Protection has been activated, and Archangel Michael is by your side to combat the darkness that resists. Listen to this message with an open heart. It has come not to cause fear, but to open the doors to your liberation. Before we continue, I invite you to write in the comments, "I am guided, protected, and strengthened by the angels of light." Let this affirmation strengthen your faith and connection to the divine forces working on your behalf. Now take a deep breath and follow me, because what comes next may transform the way you view your story. Do not ignore the signs arising in the silence of your heart. They are calling for your consciousness to awaken, so the invisible chains binding you may be broken, and the truth revealed, not to hurt you, but to liberate you. A new path illuminated by the presence of Archangel Michael opens before you. His sword shines like the justice of heaven against the shadows that threaten your growth. You are not alone. Behind every hidden suffering is a greater divine purpose, a sacred connection being restored. The person you loved, who you may not have fully understood, is fighting against the darkness within and seeking the strength to surrender to the light. Your mission now is to act with wisdom, patience, and faith as this truth comes to light. This call is not only for you to prepare, but also to recognize that the spiritual world is in constant motion, working on behalf of those who seek truth and divine justice. Those who walk with faith and integrity find unwavering heavenly support. Archangel Michael opens paths and undoes all tricks of deception for those willing to face what once seemed hidden. He is the guardian of your journey and is ready to cut the invisible ties preventing you from moving forward. As you read this, reflect on the people around you and the energies you allow into your life. Sometimes it is the people closest to you who carry the greatest shadows. However, heaven warns you not to remain in indifferent darkness. Anxiety, stress, and inexplicable discomfort have deep reasons. They are your spirit trying to free itself from burdens that do not belong to you. This is not an invitation to feed fear, but a call to strengthen your spiritual shield and recognize the truth without hasty judgments. Although reality may seem painful, it is always the first step toward healing and reconciling your energy and purpose. Write in the comments, "I now activate my spiritual protection shield," This simple act will strengthen your aura and prevent energy imbalances from affecting you. Feel this protection surrounding you, preparing your heart for the revelations yet to come. This woman calculated every move with pinpoint accuracy, waiting for the exact moment to cast doubt on you in circles that would make a difference. She doesn't act on impulse, but with cold, calculated strategy, masked by fake smiles and empty hugs. When you achieve something important, she is the first to congratulate you, but inside her heart burns with envy, and her words turn into poison whispered into willing ears. What you didn't know is that this person close to you, someone who mistook your kindness for weakness, began to weave an elaborate web of lies. Even people who admired you began to question your intentions. She cast doubt on your character, twisted your words, and fabricated narratives, all while maintaining a facade of loyalty in front of you. But the heavens saw everything. Archangel Michael recorded every malicious word and every plan hatched in the shadows, as well as every moment she reveled in your failures. Divine justice never sleeps, and the moment of total exposure is coming. The person you love, who suffers in silence, has witnessed these betrayals and heard these lies. The weight of this truth is causing them emotional distress they can no longer bear. Have you noticed how certain people around you have subtly changed the way they treat you? Have you noticed how conversations that once flowed naturally now seem forced? How opportunities that seemed certain suddenly fall apart for no apparent reason? All of this stems from a silent campaign of sabotage orchestrated against you. If this message touches your heart in any way, or resonates with how you're feeling right now, I ask you to show a gesture of kindness. Click "Thank you" to support this message. This is how we can continue to bring words of healing, revelation, and hope to those who need them most. This woman didn't just speak against you. She tried to interfere with your spiritual path. In moments when she pretended to support you, she sent negative energy, hoping your plans would fail, your achievements would be temporary, and your happiness would be incomplete. She used emotional manipulation techniques and distorted spiritual practices to block your progress. However, there is someone who has witnessed all of this and can no longer bear this burden alone. She loves you deeply, but is afraid of the consequences of revealing the truth. She fears not being believed, retaliation from the manipulative woman, and that you will think she is exaggerating or making up stories. Archangel Michael is whispering in her ear, giving her the courage to finally speak up and break the silence that has tormented her. It is not fair that she continues to suffer alone because of a third person's cowardice and malice. The truth needs to come out to set you free and ease the hearts of those who love you. Before we continue, write in the comments, "My energy is sacred and no evil has power over me." This shows the universe that you recognize your worth and will no longer allow yourself to be affected by toxic energies. Feel this strength course through your entire being as you prepare for what is yet to be revealed. The signs are everywhere. You just need to open your spiritual eyes to see them. That unexplained discomfort you feel around this woman, that sense that something is off even when she seems kind, and those strange dreams that leave you restless for no apparent reason, are all warnings from your spirit trying to protect you. Someone suffering in silence has likely already given you subtle clues. Perhaps they indirectly commented on this woman, distanced themselves when she was present, or showed discomfort in certain situations. But being naturally trusting and pure of heart, you have failed to pick up on these warning signs. Now, Archangel Michael is intervening directly because the time for truth has come. There can be no more delay or silence. Divine justice demands that this situation be resolved before it causes greater harm to you and the person keeping this painful secret. This is not a message of revenge, but of liberation. When the truth comes to light, do not respond with anger or a desire for retaliation. Respond with the dignity of someone protected by heavenly forces. Archangel Michael will ensure justice is served. Your part is to keep your heart pure and move forward with wisdom. Write in the comments now, "Where light dwells, no shadow remains." This will serve as your invisible shield against everything that has tried to stop you until now. Take a deep breath and let this truth sink deeply into your soul, because what comes next will touch your heart in an unexpected way. The revelation is near. When it comes, you will perfectly understand why certain things in your life did not flow as they should have, why some people walked away without explanation, and why some projects were sabotaged at the last moment. Everything will make sense, and immense relief will accompany the pain of discovery as you finally know the truth. What this woman did not calculate is that her actions left traces in the spiritual world. Every lie told against you, every plan devised, and every false moment of friendship was recorded by the angels of truth. She thought her emotional intelligence and ability to manipulate would keep her secrets hidden forever, but she underestimated divine justice's power. There's a fundamental difference between people who make mistakes due to human weakness and those who deliberately choose the path of calculated betrayal. This woman belongs to the second group. She knew exactly what she was doing when she decided to use her closeness to you as a weapon. She studied your vulnerabilities, mapped out your dreams, and used that information to sabotage your progress systematically. Those who are suffering in silence have witnessed moments when this woman spoke about you with contempt, when she thought you weren't listening. They have seen her deliberately distort your words in meetings, turning your qualities into flaws, your achievements into strokes of luck, and your virtues into pretense. But what hurts this loved one the most is that they tried to defend you in these situations, only to be silenced by this manipulator's persuasive force. They saw how she influences opinions, how she knows the right words to use to plant seeds of distrust, and how she is skilled at creating convincing narratives that make good people doubt their perceptions. Archangel Michael is revealing these details not to cause you more pain, but to help you understand the full extent of what you have faced. You weren't imagining things when you sensed that something was amiss. Your spiritual intuition was working perfectly, trying to warn you about toxic energies disguised as friendship. Write in the comments, "The light that guides me is stronger than any darkness." This statement seals your courage, faith, and spiritual rebirth. Let these words echo in your heart as a decree of victory over all the forces that have tried to bring you down. This woman has a peculiar trait. She is extremely careful not to leave direct evidence of her malice. She has never confronted you openly, said anything obviously offensive in your presence, or done anything easily identifiable as betrayal. She specializes in subtle sabotage, administering poison in measured doses and gradually destroying your reputation with seemingly innocent comments. She has learned to use phrases like, "I worry about her," to veiledly criticize you. She says, "It's none of my business," but before spreading distorted information about your life. She uses her reputation as a serious and trustworthy person to lend credibility to the lies she tells about you. The person holding this painful secret has lost sleep thinking about how to tell you the truth without seeming dramatic. They know you prefer to see the good in people, give the benefit of the doubt, and believe in the possibility of change. That is why they fear you will minimize the situation's seriousness or doubt their truthfulness. However, the angels are paving the way for this revelation to happen naturally and unequivocally. Situations will align, conversations will arise, and evidence will appear in a way that will be impossible to deny or minimize. The truth has a power of its own. When its time comes, nothing can stop it from shining. Archangel Michael wants you to know that, painful as it may be, this experience is part of a larger process of purification in your life. Sometimes it is necessary for the masks to fall, so that we can clearly see who is truly on our side and who has been disguising their intentions. You are being prepared for a new level of spiritual discernment. After this revelation, you will have a much more acute ability to identify false energies. You will develop more accurate intuition about people and situations. You will never again allow anyone to exploit your kindness as a weakness. Before we continue, write down, "I am protected by invisible forces working on my behalf." This opens the way for angels to work more powerfully in your life. Feel this protection intensifying around you, forming a protective light barrier against negative energy. The woman who will be exposed based her strategy on the assumption that you would never discover the truth. She relied on your trusting nature, your tendency to see the best in people, and your reluctance to believe in betrayal from those close to you. However, she did not count on direct intervention from the spiritual world. Every person has a moment when the universe decides that enough is enough. Enough injustice, enough manipulation, and enough allowing parasitic energies to feed on your light. That moment has come for you. Archangel Michael has drawn his flaming sword and declared that the age of deception is over. Those who suffer in silence are about to find the strength to break that silence. They are realizing that keeping the truth hidden does not protect them, but rather prolongs their suffering and allows this woman to continue causing harm. True love sometimes requires difficult conversations, painful truths, and risks temporary discomfort to avoid permanent damage. This woman has always worked with time on her side. She knew well-planted lies grow like weeds when not confronted immediately with the truth. That's why she was patient, whispering here and insinuating there to create a web of mistrust so subtle that you began to question yourself. How many times did you find yourself wondering if you were doing something wrong? How many times did you question whether your actions were being interpreted correctly? How often did you feel the need to excessively explain or justify yourself? All of this was the result of the silent campaign of psychological sabotage this person orchestrated against your self-esteem. However, there's a difference between healthy self-criticism and the systematic destruction of self-confidence. What you experienced was the latter. This woman studied your personality and identified where to press to cause the most emotional damage. She knew you valued your reputation, so she attacked your image. She knew you cared about relationships, so she planted discord between you and your loved ones. The person holding this painful secret watched it all happen and felt powerless. They tried to defend you indirectly, undoing some of the lies when possible, and keeping important people informed about who you really are. However, this manipulator is impressively persuasive and can make even intelligent people doubt their own perceptions. Archangel Michael reveals that this is not an isolated situation in this woman's life. She has a pattern of behavior, a history of destroyed relationships, and a trail of hurt people who have fallen victim to her manipulations. You were not the first victim, but you may be the last if this exposure serves as a wake-up call for those around you. If this message touches your heart in any way, consider supporting this channel by clicking the thank you button. This gesture supports the mission of spreading words of light and allows us to reach more people who, like you, need to wake up to this invisible reality that interferes with real life. This woman has developed an almost artistic ability to destroy relationships while seemingly keeping her hands clean. She plants distorted information here and adds malicious interpretations there. Then, she steps back to watch the chaos unfold. When questioned, she always has a plausible justification and manages to make herself look like a concerned person trying to help. But the angels saw through this facade from the beginning. They recorded not only her actions but also her intentions. They documented her words and the true feelings behind them. Now, the time has come for spiritual accountability. The person you love who is keeping this painful truth to themselves has begun to notice a pattern in situations involving this woman. They've noticed that problems arise after this person spends time with you, misunderstandings happen after seemingly innocent conversations, and opportunities close after she learns of your plans. At first, your loved one thought it was a coincidence. Then they began to suspect something was going on. Finally, they came to the inevitable conclusion that they were witnessing a deliberate campaign of sabotage. That's when the weight of the truth became unbearable, because they realized that not telling you would be a form of complicity. Write in the comments, "My heart is light, and no evil can resist this vibration." This will reinforce your inner strength and dissolve any energy trying to destabilize you. Allow this truth to settle into every cell of your body, creating an impenetrable energy shield. Archangel Michael wants you to know that this experience will make you wiser, stronger, and better able to distinguish genuine energies from false ones. You will develop a kind of spiritual radar that will serve you well for the rest of your life. You will never again be vulnerable to this kind of manipulation because you now recognize its tactics. This woman made a fatal mistake. She underestimated the power of true love. She did not anticipate that someone would risk personal discomfort to protect you. She did not foresee someone brave enough to face her retaliation in the name of truth. She did not imagine the spiritual world would intervene so directly. The upcoming revelation will leave no room for doubt. It will be based on concrete facts, clear evidence, and irrefutable situations. Archangel Michael is arranging circumstances so the truth emerges naturally and irrefutably. When this happens, you will experience a mixture of pain and relief. You will feel pain at discovering that someone you trusted was working against you. You will feel relief at finally understanding why certain things in your life did not make sense, why you felt blocked for no apparent reason, and why some people changed their attitude toward you. The person keeping this secret has already begun preparing themselves psychologically for this conversation. They are praying for the right words, the right moment, and the courage to face the consequences of breaking the silence. However, they know they can no longer delay because their love for you is greater than their fear of retaliation. This woman has always known you are special, that you carry a different light, and that you have an important purpose in life. That is exactly why she decided to sabotage you. It was no coincidence or ordinary jealousy. It was a deliberate attempt to prevent you from reaching your full potential. She sensed that once you did, her own mediocrity would be exposed by contrast. People who are truly confident celebrate the success of others. Insecure people disguised as confident people do exactly what this woman did. They try to dim the shine of others so their own lack of light isn't so obvious. She used sophisticated psychological manipulation techniques to convince you and others that you weren't as special as you seemed. What she didn't expect was that your light is protected by heavenly forces. Archangel Michael does not allow servants of the light to be destroyed by parasitic energies. There may be delays, challenges, and moments of confusion, but the final victory always belongs to those who walk with divine purpose. Those who suffer in silence have witnessed moments when this woman showed her true colors. They saw the looks of hatred when you weren't looking, heard the poisonous comments when you walked away, and witnessed the malicious laughter when your plans didn't work out. Each of these experiences was like a stab in the heart of those who love you. But now the moment of reversal has arrived. Archangel Michael declares that the testing period is over, the time of trial has ended, and the era of victory has begun. Everything stolen from you, energy, opportunities, relationships, and peace of mind, will be restored twofold. Divine justice not only corrects, it compensates. Before we continue, write down, I am invincible when I connect with the light of the heavens. This is not just a mantra. It is a spiritual warfare decree against all the forces that have tried to bring you down. Feel this truth echoing in your soul, like a cry of victory. This woman has built her reputation by being extremely careful with her public image. She presents herself as balanced, mature, and trustworthy. She uses this facade to lend credibility to her lies about you. When she plants a seed of doubt about your character, people tend to believe her because they think, if someone as sensible as her is concerned, then there must be something wrong. But masks eventually fall, especially when spiritual forces decide the time for exposure has come. Archangel Michael is removing the energetic protection that allowed her to maintain this facade. Situations will arise in which she will be forced to reveal her true nature in front of witnesses. There will be moments when she will not be able to control her genuine reactions. Those carrying this painful secret have already noticed signs that the mask is beginning to slip. They have noticed inconsistencies in her stories, glimpsed fleeting expressions of malice, and seen her reveal her true self for a few seconds when she forgot to act. These slips are becoming more frequent because the spiritual pressure is increasing. When someone lives a life based on falsehoods, maintaining the facade requires tremendous energy. Archangel Michael is draining that energy and forcing her to choose between maintaining the lie and confessing the truth. You will begin to notice subtle changes in her behavior. She may become more anxious in your presence. She may start avoiding certain people or situations. She may appear nervous when specific topics are mentioned. This is because she is losing control of the narrative she has carefully constructed. Write in the comments, the presence of angels surrounds and protects me in all ways. This gesture opens the wings of heavenly protection over you. Feel this divine energy creating a force field around you that prevents any negative energy from reaching you. Interestingly, this woman always believed she was smarter than everyone around her. She prided herself on her ability to manipulate others, feeling superior for being able to deceive those she considered naive. However, human intelligence has limits, and divine wisdom is infinite. She was playing a game in which she never had a chance of winning. The person you love, who is keeping this truth from you, began documenting strange situations involving this woman, not obsessively, but rather as a way to validate their perceptions. They realized that when the time came to tell the truth, they would need concrete evidence because they knew it would be a difficult revelation to accept. This evidence is accumulating in an almost miraculous way. Conversations are overheard at just the right moment. Messages are seen by chance, and situations align in a way that seems coordinated by the universe itself. Archangel Michael is organizing a complete, irrefutable exhibition. When the truth comes out, you will realize that many strange situations from the past finally make sense. Remember that time when an important project was sabotaged at the last minute? That time when a loved one suddenly changed their attitude for no apparent reason? The time you felt judged unfairly? These episodes all had this woman's fingerprints on them. But remember, this revelation is not meant to destroy your faith in humanity. It is meant to refine your discernment. There are genuinely good people in the world, and one of them is someone who is suffering in order to protect you from this painful truth. Contrasting the falseness of one with the authenticity of the other will teach you a lot about identifying true love. The moment of revelation is approaching like an inevitable storm. You can feel the change in the spiritual atmosphere around you, an energy of transformation that can no longer be contained. Archangel Michael is positioning all the pieces on the cosmic board so that the truth can emerge naturally, powerfully, and definitively. The person carrying this terrible burden is undergoing an inner transformation of their own. They are discovering courage they didn't know they had, and a strength that comes directly from the spiritual world. The angels whisper in their ears, reminding them that true love requires bravery, and that protecting someone means facing temporary discomfort to prevent permanent harm. The woman who will be exposed is beginning to feel the pressure. She doesn't know exactly what is happening, but she realizes that her ability to control situations is diminishing. People who once accepted her versions of events without question are now asking more direct questions. Situations she used to easily manipulate are now slipping out of her control. If this message touches your heart, consider supporting this work by clicking "Thank you." This gesture, however small it may seem, helps us continue spreading these messages of light to those who need them most. Your support makes a difference in our mission to bring hope to wounded hearts. The most impressive aspect of this situation is divine patience. God could have exposed this woman immediately, but chose the perfect moment, when you would be emotionally ready to receive this truth, and when circumstances would be aligned so that the revelation would bring healing rather than just pain. You are being prepared not only to know the truth, but also to handle it maturely and wisely. Archangel Michael is strengthening your spirit, shielding your heart, and preparing your mind to process this information in a way that will result in personal growth rather than bitterness. Those who suffer in silence have already begun to mentally rehearse how they will tell you the truth. They imagine your reaction, worry about their words, and pray that you will listen with an open heart. They know this conversation will change things between you, but they also know the truth is the best gift we can give someone we love. Write in the comments now, "Evil does not touch those who live in the light of truth." This seals your vibration in integrity and attracts a protective shield from above. Take a deep breath and let this affirmation take root in your soul, because you will need this strength in the days to come. When the exposure happens, it will be like watching a play where all the masks finally come off. You will see this woman desperately trying to maintain her facade, making up explanations, blaming others, and playing the victim. However, the truth has a light of its own that cannot be overshadowed by lies, no matter how elaborate. Interestingly, other people around you will also have their own revelations. They will recall strange situations involving this woman, connect dots that previously seemed unrelated, and realize that they have been manipulated as well. It will be a collective awakening orchestrated by the angels of truth. You need not fear this revelation. Archangel Michael assures you that you have enough strength to withstand any truth, process any pain, and overcome any disappointment. You are more resilient, more protected, and more loved than you realize. When she realizes that her mask is finally coming off, the woman who will be exposed will try one last desperate move. She may play the victim, turn the tables, or make you feel guilty for discovering her lies. But these tactics won't work because your perception will be crystal clear, your intuition will be sharp, and your discernment will be perfect. Before we reach the end, I receive the light, peace, and protection that are rightfully mine. Doing so activates a portal of liberation in your life. Feel the renewing energy flowing through your body, washing away the confusion, pain, and negativity caused by this situation. The person you love is about to find the courage to finally break the silence. They can no longer stand by and watch you be deceived. They can no longer bear to see your light dimmed by someone who doesn't deserve to be in your presence. Their true love for you is stronger than any fear of the consequences. In the coming days, weeks, or months, circumstances will align in a nearly miraculous way to reveal the truth. This may happen through an unexpected conversation, an accidental discovery, or a spontaneous revelation. But it will happen, and when it does, you will realize that this message prepared you for this moment. Throughout this process, Archangel Michael will remain by your side, offering protection, wisdom, and strength to help you deal with each stage of the revelation. You are not alone on this journey of discovery. Celestial forces are working tirelessly to ensure you emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected to your true essence. We have arrived at the most sacred moment of this message, the moment when truth ceases to be a distant possibility and becomes a tangible reality. Archangel Michael is unsheathing his sword of light, not to hurt you, but to cut the invisible ties that have kept you trapped in this web of lies and manipulation once and for all. The person who has suffered in silence for so long is about to be freed from their burden. Their heart, once weighed down by unspoken truths, will feel light again. They will finally be able to breathe deeply, sleep peacefully, and look into their own eyes without the burden of a painful secret. When the revelation happens, you will experience a complex mix of emotions. There will be pain from the discovered betrayal, but also relief from finally understanding the cause of that unexplainable discomfort. There will be sadness over the loss of a friendship you thought was real, but also gratitude for discovering who truly cares about you. Write in the comments, "With every step, angels steady the ground beneath my feet." This will bring balance and confidence to what is about to be revealed. Allow this energy of divine stability to settle into your life and create a solid foundation on which to build a more authentic future. The most beautiful thing about this story is that, by exposing the falsehood, the universe is revealing true love. The person who chose to carry this burden to protect you has demonstrated a rare kind of love, one that prioritizes your well-being over their own comfort and is brave enough to face unpleasant consequences in the name of truth. This experience will teach you the difference between people who truly love you and those who pretend to. It will show you that genuine love sometimes requires difficult actions, painful conversations, and revelations we would rather avoid. True love protects even when protection is uncomfortable. The woman who will be exposed will discover that her web of lies has a fatal weakness. It depends on the silence of its victims to continue functioning. The moment a courageous person decides to speak up, the entire structure of falsehoods begins to crumble. It's like pulling the first thread from a fabric. Everything quickly falls apart. You are entering a new phase of your life in which your intuition will be your best friend. After this experience, you will develop an almost supernatural ability to identify false energies. You will never again be vulnerable to this kind of manipulation because you will recognize the tactics and patterns and sense the signs before any damage is done. Before we close, write down, "Truth, light, and protection are with me every day." This will ensure that your energy is aligned with good and shielded from any future negativity. Feel this divine promise settling into every aspect of your life and creating a permanent field of spiritual protection. Archangel Michael wants you to know that this is not an isolated experience, but part of a larger purification process happening in many people's lives right now. The spiritual world is promoting a great cleansing, removing false energies, exposing hidden manipulations, and bringing to light what was hidden in the shadows. You are part of a generation of souls who have come to break toxic patterns, establish new levels of authenticity in relationships, and raise the vibrational standard of human interactions. This painful experience is a spiritual initiation that prepares you to fulfill this greater purpose. When you look back, you will see the whole situation differently. You will realize it was a blessing in disguise, an opportunity for growth wrapped in ugly packaging that contained exactly what you needed to strengthen and evolve spiritually. The person who chose to break the silence to protect you deserves your gratitude and understanding. They risked a lot to ensure you wouldn't continue being deceived. This demonstration of love should be valued and reciprocated with affection and gratitude. Write one last time in the comments, "I am at peace. I am in the light. I am protected." Let this message resonate in your soul because it has the power to transform the way you view relationships, friendships, and your ability to discern. If this message touched your heart, made you feel welcomed or understood, or simply relieved to know that you are not alone on this journey, please subscribe to the channel. You are not just a number to us. You are a soul who has chosen to be part of this community of light and spiritual family that supports one another. I also invite you to share your story in the comments. Tell our community how this message resonated with your life, what you learned, and the revelations that arose in your heart. Your words may be exactly what someone else needs to find strength for their journey. This space is sacred, a refuge where souls come together to share experiences, offer support, and celebrate victories. You belong here. Your story matters. Your voice makes a difference. Welcome to this family of light, walking together toward truth, authentic love, and divine protection.